Goro Sumida and Eddie Yamasaki especially. Eddie actually, he wasn't in the video, but he worked on he was a World War II vet who worked on this movie with me for 15 years, and I would drag him everywhere, and he was always very supportive and charming. And I dragged him to the Capitol when we were asking the state legislature for a good portion of the funding for this film. And unfortunately, Eddie passed away last year. He had a stroke, but so I went to see him. He had moved to Japan, so I showed him the clips from Principal Photography of him and his family. And so he couldn't talk anymore because he had had the stroke, but he could still understand, so he clapped, you know. Yeah, and actually we should have included the dates, the veterans passed away. We still do have 3 of them with us that were in the movie. Ted Tsukiyama, he's 98. Well, he'll be 98 in December. And Akira Otani, who still goes to work at their fish auction every day. And Bishop Yoshiaki Fujitani, he's the baby, he just turned 96. And so those were the 3 DVD guys.
Stacey, do you want to thank the Ifuku Foundation?
Oh, hello, yes. We'd like to thank the Ifuku Family Foundation. It's actually the Rainbow Drive-In family, because the founder of Rainbow Drive-In was with the 100th Battalion, Mr. Ifuku. And they ran out. They're not here, they just stepped out. But yeah, and so Jim Kusukuma's father-in-law, he was actually a company cook with the 100th Battalion, so some of the recipes at Rainbows were what he would feed his men.
You also want to mention some of the awards the film has won?
Oh yeah, so our film actually won the Movie Maker Award. We actually created that award at HIF last year for us, Hawaii International Film Festival. But the one we were very excited about was the World War II Normandy Film Festival. So our film won Outstanding Feature Film. And did anybody see Band of Brothers?
Sure.
Well, 3 of the cast members of Band of Brothers were on the jury that picked our film to win that festival. And so this movie played in Normandy this past D-Day. Yeah, D-Day is this huge gathering of people from all over the world, people who care about World War II, but they don't know about Pearl Harbor or what happened to us in Hawaii. So it was very gratifying to bring our Hawaii stories and Pearl Harbor stories of local people to Normandy. Well, if you like the film, bring your friends and family who couldn't make it today. We're actually playing again at Dole Theater at Regal Dole Cannery, October 12th to the 18th. So that's pretty soon. Yeah, it's news.
What was those dates again?
October 12th to the 18th.
And there'll be several showings per day, by the way.
Yeah, we just made that happen. So.
And open up to questions.
Questions?
Whether the director, producer, or Stacey. We got a lot of local actors on the show. If you saw Jake Shinobu-Kuru.
Oh yeah, so Jake Shinobu-Kuru, he wrote our amazing soundtrack, and he's a friend of mine from high school. So he, all the years that I've been working on this, he was always supposed to write the soundtrack. And but it's hard to write a soundtrack if there's no movie, right? And so that's actually how the comic book sort of started. He was like, yeah, I love it, let's do it. We'll fundraise, I'll play, we'll get the comic book done. And that was 8 years ago, and so when I was writing this script, I knew I wanted to put Jake in it because the camera loves him, he's great. So Saburo Maehara, the veteran that he plays from Maui, Pune in Maui, that in real life, Saburo Maehara was actually killed in action on his 30th birthday. But he would write letters home to his wife and daughter, Mickey, who was like a 2-3-year-old toddler, and he would draw pictures You know, so those are actually very heartbreaking letters to read because he would draw like a rabbit, and he's like, "Oh, this is Daddy's new friend," you know, and he'd draw like a pup tent, like, "This is Daddy's house. Are you being a good girl? Listen to Mommy," you know. So.
And if you haven't seen the Generations magazine, Stacey's story is actually the cover story. There's a few magazines left at the front there, besides the merchandise and shirts like the Go for Broke shirt you can buy. But any questions for the director or any facts you want to know about? Yes, Carl. What was the most difficult scene to shoot? Besides the last scene, which had over like 400 volunteers.
Obvious answer. I'm gonna give that to Alex.
Yeah, as you just alluded to, the end, the whole part at Inline Palace, we had 400 extras come that day, which compared to how many people you see in the scene, which looks like much more, even managing 400 people was really tough. But other than that, we actually jumped into this production on like one of the hardest scenes, which was the internment camp scenes that you saw with Dean and our production manager, Sam Campos, built that internment camp that you see. And that was actually the very first scene that we filmed. And as you saw, it's very emotional and a lot of actors, a lot of lines. And that was the first time we all came together. And we really didn't know each other as well as we did by the end of production. So it had presented a ton of challenges as we kind of learned each other's tastes and tried to figure out how to work together, on top of it being really technically challenging scene. Dean could probably talk about that a little bit more.
Oh yeah, if you notice the POW set, we've got all these posts. There was about 1,000 feet of barbed wire. But if that was a real internment camp, all they had to do is walk about 70 feet that way and go around the fence. But we had to actually drill holes in the ground, put all these posts up, put all that barbed wire up. And then the very next day after we filmed, we had to take it all out and make it look like there was nothing there. So I set up a post puller to pull this thing out. Sam, all he did is just grab the post and yank it out by hand. So if we had built a real internment camp, the following day, everybody would have escaped.
And that picture behind you is actually a real photo for the end of the movie.
And so this guy right here, this is the real Akira Otani. Actually, this guy right here. Shades. Oh, actually, Patrick wanted to tell you about their decorations, so let's see if he remembers numbers.
It's a dubious honor having being the mean Marine who yelled at the young seminary at any rate. Later on, I've always been very proud of the 442nd, but I've learned a great deal about it. Most decorated regiment in military history. 9,486 Purple Hearts, 4,000 Bronze Stars, and 21 Medals of Honor. You know how rare those are. Senator Medway lost his right arm charging up a hill, switched his submachine gun to the left, and of course it became history. They also had were 33,000 served, over 800 were gave the supreme sacrifice. They weren't Japanese Americans, they were Americans in every way, shape, and form, and it's a national embarrassment. This movie was probably the finest effort of its type in generations to tell that story.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Is there any, are you planning to have like a part 2, like continuation?
The question is, are we planning to have a part 2 or a continuation? So let me tell you about that. Yeah, we need to go to war, right? We haven't even gone to training yet. Italy and no, exactly. No, I do want to do that. So the hardest thing for a film is always the money. It's a sad truth, but this is actually supposed to be a pilot for like a 10-part limited series like Band Brothers. And actually it was something that I had talked with Jake Schmidt-Crow about over dinner with, like, we would see each other on the road much more often, and he was like, and I was complaining, I was like, this story is so epic, there's so many stories, how can you fit it into, because before I wrote this one, it was like a feature film, but it would have been like 3 hours long, because it did the whole war. And he's like, no, it should be like Band of Brothers, you know, you just cover certain stories. Because the 100th Battalion, they deserve their own episode. you know, and so I tried to, right? And, you know, even the military intelligence service, their actions were classified. They weren't allowed to talk about what they did. So that makes it very hard for us to appreciate them if we don't know what they did, you know. And they were just following orders. They were all over the Pacific, in the China, India, Burma theater. They were hiding in caves with Sun Yat-sen and Chairman Mao. You know, it's crazy where they were. They were on the battleship Missouri when Japan surrendered. You know, and there was actually the military intelligence service that they knew where Admiral Yamamoto was going to, and he, you know, the architect of the Pearl Harbor attack, and we shot him down because of their intelligence. And Japan was so demoralized, they didn't tell anybody that he was dead for like a month, you know? So, you know, the MIX, they did a lot of things as well. And the 100, 442, there's, you know, several battles, like their banzai charges. So the 100 in Italy, they were decimated in Cassino. And the 442, their most famous battle was the Battle of Gruyere. Fontaine is the Battle of the Vosges Mountains, and that's one of the top 10 battles in US history, including the Civil War. You know, and some of those Nazis that they were fighting, those are the same Nazis that were there at D-Day on the beaches of Normandy, same unit.
But they're older.
They were a few months older, yes.
Any other questions? Yes, sir?
It's not a question, but I thank you for having this place as a venue. I'm enjoying this movie so much better here. We should do more things in this place.
This screen is fantastic.
Thank you. Well, and we have to thank thank you, Chris, for sound, but we'd like to thank our committee, actually. There was our small committee of people that Percy, Haro, Generation Magazine, Rainbow Drive-In, Jim Yusukuma, Dean, Kayleen and Carl Sakamoto, the Takai family, Team Takai, Eric and Naomi. Are you guys in here? They might have gone back out to help. Yeah, but it's really this little committee that helps plan this event. We've been working on this since like January. Yeah, I can personally.
The reason we're here is anybody trying to say no to our producer? See, no.
Any other questions? Comments? Well, October 12th, I think it's to the 17th, Friday to Thursday, Regal Theater at Dole Cannery. There'll be several showings per day, and we want to encourage you to tell your family and your grandkids. And actually, this morning we had Pro City High School kids here this morning watching the show, and it was fantastic to see them and appreciate what they did.
Yes, please encourage people to see it at Dole Cannery because it's really expensive to rent these things, and we may lose money. But we wanted the people of Hawaii to be able to see it. So.
Any question? How much did this film cost? Wow.
Gosh, you know, see, that's such a good question. You know, to be honest, we don't really know. We can't tell you because people.